So I've spoken to people who have tried to return shoes to Zendesk. I've spoken to people who are looking for instruction manuals for deep fat fryers and weird things like that. More recently, I had a call where I called a woman, she's on a trial of Zendesk, and she had confused Zendesk with the internet. So when I called her, I said, I'm calling from Zendesk, and she's like, oh yes, you guys are the internet, right? And I was like, well, we're on the internet. She goes, yes, no, you are the internet. I need to get on the internet. Do I pay you to go online? Are you my internet? And I suppose I could have charged her, but I said, no, I think you're very confused. We are not the internet. We're a customer service platform. And she said, oh, okay. So you're my internet? Can you get me on the internet? Like, no, I have to end this call. I'll send you an email. We'll take it from there.
My story is based on one of the leads that I got through. One of them was a decision maker. He said his name was Santa Claus. Asked him, what kind of support agents is he rocking? And he said about 1,000 agents. Boom. Emma Moore, that's all I'm looking for. And then I came under the category for Sam Jenner, travel and leisure. That's it.
So my whole life in Zendesk I only called 3 leads in Iceland, and one of them was having really poor English. He was talking English for like 6 months, and I was calling him, and he started his sentences with the best of intentions, but he was always pausing and didn't really know where to go with the end of the sentence. So I really had to help him, guide him through. So my plan was to guide him towards a conversation with my account manager and making him buy 3 licenses of Zendesk, which he eventually did. So
one of my funniest and unexpected calls was after I sent out a Why You Now email to one of my prospects. I called him up following up on this, and he picked up and was like, hi, and I told him I'm calling from Zendesk, and if you already got a chance to look at my email, and his response was, yeah, I looked at it, but and thanks for your interest. I feel really honored, but I just started my job, and it's a huge opportunity for me, and I really love it, so thanks for the interest, but I'm currently not looking for a new opportunity. So, and I was like, wait a second, what happened? And then he said, yeah, no, I'm really happy, so maybe contact me again in a year or so to see, because your company sounds really interesting, but I'm not looking for a new job. And I was like, I was not looking to hire you. So I'm actually in the sales role at Zendesk. I just wanted to introduce our product. And then he got kind of really embarrassed. And well, then he said, oh yeah, give me some time, I will look at it. And I followed up again via email, but he didn't respond again because I think it was just too embarrassing.
Okay, so one of the first month I had a lead in Nigeria, and I called him. Apparently, well, it looks like he was interested. We keep in the conversation, and all of a sudden I heard a baby screaming. And yeah, well, that's the story. He was in his house, and he was keeping a baby because it was screaming very loud, the baby. And then at some point I said, look, can I call you back later?
Hi, when I called Pukka Herbs and requested the CEO. I said to them I was a very, very big customer of theirs, and sure enough I got through to them and spoke with the CEO himself. He was a little bit puzzled as to why I was calling, and I explained that we are a big customer. He asked me what Zendesk was, so I told him, and then I also clarified that Zendesk buys Pukka Herb teas, to which he found it quite amusing. And sure enough, at the end of the call, he asked me what my favorite tea was, and unfortunately I had to reply honestly, I don't drink tea, I'm a coffee drinker.
Okay, hi, I'm actually telling you about a Zope meet that I got in a couple of months ago. It was for a law firm, and at the beginning I couldn't reach him, so we sent a couple of emails, and then I catched him, and it turned out that I was actually talking to the 9-year-old son who installed Zopim on his website. So yeah, it was a good call. He got the free version of Zopim and was really happy.
Okay, so my story is about a ticket that came in to Zendesk. It was basically a company called Adams Wheels, and they were a charity looking to get the enterprise plan on a discount. So I called them anyway, and I got through to the person, and he seemed like it was someone's kid, and I was waiting to be put through to the right person. But basically, he said he was the man who sent the ticket, and he told me a bit about the company, and he was looking to get the enterprise plan for €1, it turned out. And he told me about the business, and basically he said I started it about 2 years ago when I was 9. So it was an 11-year-old fundraising for his brother Adam, who needs a wheelchair, and he has this and the radio set up, and basically he wanted it for €1, which I couldn't do, unfortunately.
Was to Talabat because of the reason it was one customer, and I remember before I sent the email to Mohammed Jafar, I was googling some stuff in the internet how you do business with people in Middle East, and so my first line in the email was like, I have the honor of talking with you about something you might take into consideration. I appreciate giving you some time for the call. Well, he did. He passed me on Abdulhamid Al Omar and Hassan Mamdou, and I remember I was very excited about the Skype call, being with people, all these turbans and all these kind of things. So, and really excited about the call doing with them. And yeah, I also found that sometimes they like pictures or comics in the end of their emails, which I did. And at a later stage, I asked Hassan, do you actually like those comics? And he said like, well, we're very open, so do as you please, bro. Funniest part was he was actually from Dublin, and the call with him, we were talking about his time here, and so he really appreciated also the personal touch in an email which I sent it to him to his birthday with some memories from Dublin. Long story short, they are now a customer of Zendesk, and with 30 enterprise agents and 50 Zopim Premium. And it is a really good references for now, especially in Delivery Hero for the food company next to Food Panda, because they were the first customer in Delivery Hero who decided against Salesforce.
So when I started in Zendesk, basically I had a Polish customer. When I called them, I caught them in the wrong moment. So they were, basically I called them, they said to hold on. And then when I asked, what's going on, he told me, well, I'm actually in the bathroom. As he was walking out, he flushed the toilet. I heard it on my call. And then I had to wait for another minute until he came out, and he was like, okay, yes, I'm now ready to talk. And I was like, okay, perfect.
So basically, I received an email from a guy in Africa. So I tried to call him back because it was like sounds like a serious lead. So he sent me an email back saying that he was sorry, he was praying in the mountain, and then he was happy that I called him because he needed money from Zendesk to build a church in the mountain again. So I told him like Zendesk was not the good company for that, and then he was starting to send me email every week. So this is the last email I received from the guy. So I advise him to go to ChurchDesk, or even better, Freshdesk.
So yeah, my story is about that leads where I had like maybe 10 calls, 15 point of contacts, never be able to reach the guy. Finally reached the guy. The first thing he told me on the phone is that he received all my email and that I was a stalker, which we both laughed about. And then after a quick conversation, I make an up out of it, and that's it. So I believe it's never give up.
So in September, we had an e-commerce event in Paris. So I would like to invite the French director of Carrefour France for this event. And it was very difficult to have this guy. and to reach him on the phone. So I made it with a very good cooperation with the personal assistant of this director, and finally after 3 weeks she managed to invite the director to this event. And so in order to thank you her, I sent to her a big flower, some flowers, and a good rumor that it was very hard to convince Korsjan to finance the flowers. So after a good discussion, finally he said, okay, but you need to have some result for that. So she was very happy, and I've created an hub for this company.
Well, I called in the first place. I think it was Nigeria. The woman didn't pick up, so I sent an email, and turned out that it wasn't a real company. It was just a woman looking for a husband in Europe. So she was telling me this whole story about her life, about how her parents passed away in the last few months, about how she was living in a shed somewhere in Africa, and she was basically asking me to marry her and to get her to Europe. I was trying to engage with her after to see if there was anything there just for fun, but after all she didn't reply anymore. But still, it was a funny story, and I still consider her as the one who got away, so that's it.
I was onto this guy from Finland, and the Finnish are a bit different anyway, but I was just like, hi Martin, how are you? He was like, please stop calling me Martin. I know it's a sales tactic. I know you're trying to build rapport with me. And I was like, okay, fair enough. So what would you like me to call you? Call me Mary for the rest of the call. I was like, Mary? Okay, fair enough. So Mary, what would you like to talk about right now? Do you want to talk about Zendesk, or where do you want to go with this?
Call. I got through to a goat. Basically I rang and the guy said hello, but then the goat was in the background, and most of the call consisted of him speaking to his goat, telling the goat to be quiet. So it didn't end up being sales qualified.